Hello everyone, this is Griffin Station back here with another BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle 2.0 video. And I actually got to play 2.0 a bit early. I got to play it at ArcREVO this last weekend, and so this video is covering all of my thoughts and impressions on the game and the characters I got to play at ArcREVO. Now I did actually get to play as all 9 new characters that will be introduced in 2.0, and my thoughts on them. Unfortunately, I did only get one match with every character except for Neo. I got 2 matches with Neo because you get to choose 2 characters obviously in Cross Tag Battle, and I chose Neo for my last match since there was an odd number. So I didn't really get too much time, especially since Cross Tag Battle games are so short and you have to split the time up between 2 characters. It probably isn't as even as I'd like it to be, and I also probably didn't get as much time as I would have liked to fully experience the characters, so these are just early thoughts on the gameplay for these characters, as well as other aspects of the game that I experienced while at ArcREVO that were, I would say, new. Another caveat I do need to mention before I get into this and before I rank the characters and how I felt about them is that I think in 2 of the matches I forgot to reset my button controls because of course other people were already playing on the games, so they were changing the buttons to fit their play style, but then after I would forget to do that. Or I think there was even one game where for some reason neither my option button or my opponent's option button would actually do anything, and so we just couldn't change the button configuration. So I didn't get to fully experience the characters to the extent that I would have loved to. But regardless of all of that, I did get to play them, and here's my ranking in terms of I'll go worst to best, and then after it'll be a similar format to from my Guilty Gear Strive video that I made yesterday. So going from the bottom to the top, for the 9 new characters, we have BlazTank, Susano'o, Adachi, Akatsuki, Hilda, Elizabeth, Neo, and Celica. Did I miss a character? BlazTank, Susano'o, Adachi, Yumi. Yumi is between Akatsuki and Susano'o. That's or Adachi and Akatsuki. That's who I missed. So we're gonna start off with BlazTank. I really wanted to love BlazTank. BlazTank was one of my most hyped. Well, actually, I really loved all of the characters, honestly, that were added to this game. But BlazTank was one of the special ones. He was so out there in terms of a pick, and just overall concept of BlazTank is awesome. So I really feel bad about putting BlazTank so low on my list, but and this is all subjective. This is all based on my one game that I got to play with each of these characters. But the reason why BlazTank is so low is just honestly I knew the hitbox would have been a problem going into the game. I guess it's sort of a similar situation that I had with Potemkin from Guilty Gear Strive. The fact that he's really heavy, BlazTank can just charge in there, which is really fun to do, especially if you switch out with the other character. You can just charge in there with BlazTank. But the problem with BlazTank I had anyways is that it was just really hard for me to do anything with him, honestly. He's not the fastest character. He can get in fast, he can charge into the opponent fast, but otherwise, basically the opponent has free reign to just start comboing you, and you can't really do anything about it. That's at least my experience. His mobility, while it's really fast, he takes up so much of the screen that it's just really easy for the opponent to maneuver, I guess, either above him, around him, behind him, and he's just not. I just don't see him being viable, unfortunately. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe BlazTank has potential. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it when I played him. I didn't see it when other people played him. It just didn't doesn't work for me, unfortunately. And Blitztank was one of my really hyped characters too, so I really feel bad about putting him so low on my list. Well, he's at the bottom, honestly. Next I have is Susano'o. He's really heavy hitting, and honestly, the rest of the characters are, I would say, viable, definitely. Susano'o, he's not too slow. His combos, like, hit hard if you hit them. And they're sort of hard to get out of, if I recall correctly. Of course, this was one game against one opponent, and I don't remember the skill levels of each of these opponents. But Susano'o was all right. What you'd expect from Susano'o. I don't really have too much else to say about the character, because honestly, he was just sort of not memorable to me out of all the characters, and that's probably why he's also pretty low on my list. Unfortunately, Susano'o was another character I was really looking forward to. He just wasn't that memorable to me. Adachi is next. Adachi actually surprised me, honestly. I know he's pretty low on my list, and I know he's probably one of the highest on your list. I know he's a really hyped character, and he's probably going to be higher on your list. But Adachi is pretty fun. Honestly, most of these characters are just like really close in terms of my enjoyment with them. Adachi is just fun. He's pretty, I would say, mid-range, maybe close range, mid-range, if I'm remembering correctly. Again, I didn't get too much time to play with him. But he's pretty easy to use, I would say. His his combo set is pretty easy to set off, at least from my experience. And he chains well. So I enjoyed playing Adachi. Next I have on my list is Yumi, a pretty mid-ranged fighter. I paired Yumi up with Adachi, I'm pretty sure, when I played Yumi, and that combo actually worked extremely well. She's really mid-ranged, and like Adachi, can chain really well. It's also just really easy to get into, I guess, into the groove of things with Yumi. You just really want to keep your opponent. You don't want to get too close. If the opponent gets too close, you're pretty done as Yumi, I feel. Just zone them, keep them away from you, and you should be good as Yumi. That's at least my experience, and how I did well against my opponent when I was playing as Yumi. The next one was so fun. Akatsuki. I was actually surprised by how much fun I had as Akatsuki. Akatsuki is really close ranged, obviously. He hits very hard, and is very easy to pick up for new players. So I would say if you're getting 2.0 for the first, or if you're playing BlazBlue for the first time in 2.0, pick up Akatsuki. Akatsuki is probably the easiest character I've played in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. He is just so easy to pick up. He's super strong, and I really enjoyed playing him. And I was honestly surprised, because I was pretty impartial to Akatsuki, honestly. Like, when he was announced, he was, out of the 4 original announced characters, he was my least typed. That's probably not the same for other people. But that's just how I felt about Akatsuki. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed him. Out of those 4 original 2.0 characters that were announced, he's my second favorite. Next I have on my list is Hilda. Hilda I was really looking forward to. I really love Hilda's design, and she did not disappoint. Hilda's what you expect, zoning the opponent, keeping a distance. You also want to make sure you keep a distance with Hilda. And you're basically golden, just constantly summon swords, and it's just a really fun time as Hilda. Hilda was great, in my opinion. I just love Hilda. I don't know how other people feel about her, but she was really fun. Next I have on my list is, this is the top 3 now, we have Elizabeth. And I was actually surprised Elizabeth slid under my radar in terms of hype. She wasn't somebody I wasn't looking forward to, but I just didn't. I didn't really have any expectations for Elizabeth. But when I played her, she actually was really, really fun. She's sort of a close mid-range character, and she's pretty easy to pick up. honestly. Most of these characters are honestly really easy to pick up, and I feel that's a really good thing in terms of moving into 2.0, because it just allows more people to, you know, get into the game, because, like, you know, you would think, like, oh, this is a 2.0, this is for the people that played BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle 1, but I feel as though this is great intro point for a lot of people. People see, like, let's say a character like Neo, which I'll get into in a second, like if they're a fan of Ruby and they're like, oh, hey, the new Ruby characters in this game, maybe I'll go pick this up, and then after they're able to get into these new characters, which always breathes more life into the game, and I feel it's always a good thing. Speaking of Neo, Neo was really fun. Neo is definitely my most hyped character because I'm a huge fan of Ruby. And Neo was honestly super fun. She's really agile. She doesn't really deal too much damage, unfortunately, but you can really move around the stage freely. She does a lot of cartwheels, which is really fun. Yeah, she's just a super fun character. I really loved Neo. Neo probably won't be as high on other people's lists as she is on mine, but that's just personal bias. And yeah, I mean, this is my opinion, and this is just one opinion on the internet. This, of course, everyone's going to have different opinions, but yeah, Neo is second on my list. Neo was actually first for a while until I played as Silica, and Silica blew me away by how good she was. She was definitely my favorite character out of all of the new characters. And this was another character that sort of slid under my radar, sort of like Elizabeth, and I think that might also be the reason why she rose up in the ranks for me. But yeah, she's best character. She's strong, she's fast, she combos easily, she has very wide range, and she also heals through at least one of her combos, which like, I was just like, wow, she was just like, I don't have any complaints about her. She was just so good. So yeah, when the game comes out, I'm definitely playing Silica. I'll probably do Silica Neo combo, but I'll definitely test out the characters again because I really didn't get that much time with any of the characters. So yeah, that's just my experience with the new characters. In terms of other stuff that was new that I found really interesting, they of course have more intros, which is always great to see. We also do have not a new character selection screen, unfortunately. It's the same. All the new series, such as like Senran Kagura, and after we also have like Akatsuki Blitzkampf, and so on and so forth. All of those series are all on the same row. So we have the initial 4 series that were included into BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, and then after, all of the new ones that have been added through either the spring update or through 2.0 are all on one line. So we have about 5 new characters in that line. So if people were wondering how that was going to be formatted, that's how it's formatted. And then finally, after, when you go to select which character order you want to choose, so like when you press X or circle to choose, like let's say if I have Neo first and Silica second, when you go to choose like which order you want to play the characters in, that has a new format, which is actually really nice. Instead of being like long columns, it's like 2 squares that take up like top and bottom, and I think it just looks cleaner, and I really like the change. But that's the only real big change in terms of like UI or just interface overall that was in this game. Overall, I really loved it. It's still BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, so don't expect like a major overhaul. But overall, it's really fun experience. I really loved like all the characters, unfortunately, except for really Blitztank. Hopefully that my opinion will change come Friday. Which Friday I will be uploading gameplay of all of the characters. I did record some gameplay at ArcREVO, but it was off camera, and in the end I'm just like, we're just so close, I'll just wait until we get to the official characters. It's just a couple days away anyways, so when we get there I'll make sure to upload all of the videos for all the new characters that we have, and if you want to check all that out, make sure to subscribe. thank you so much. I'll be uploading my thoughts on Mako and also on Percival in the next couple of days, and I will have videos scheduled for the following week while I'm in New Zealand, so make sure to subscribe for all of that content. I will also be uploading, what is it called, you know, those vlogs to my second channel. I have a link to that in the description down below for when I am in New Zealand. I will have covering the entire trip on my second channel. It is called Lightbox Cafe. With that said, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.